Hi, Jessica. Welcome, Zora. Kara.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I see Bash got his paper ready. Bash be over there taking notes. Like, has anybody gotten that remarkable note taker pad? I've been looking at those, and I'm trying to figure if it's worth it.
Talking about the one where people like writing, like drawing on it, and it turns into writing?
Yes.
It looks really cool. I've seen people using it in meetings, and I'm a little jealous because I'm like, here I am, like with my pen and paper, and this dude's just like, okay, that's the future right there. I feel really old now.
That's what I've been researching. I'm thinking like maybe that's a good Christmas gift for myself, but I'm like, can my tablet do something like that? Because I do have the pen for my Surface. But then I'm like, what's the difference? What's the benefits? I'm trying to figure that out. But I do believe in writing. I do believe there's so much power in writing.
Yeah, I do remember things a little better when I write it because I physically, you physically remember the motion of writing it, and it just sticks. So I'll go back to my handwriting. I can't read my handwriting, but I remember what I
wrote. I'm the same way.
And the scientists have studied the benefits of writing and how it actually sticks to our memory and subconscious and unconscious, and it does something different for a different part of our brain than typing does. So that's why I've been looking into this remarkable, like, should I get it? Is there an app already I can use? I don't know. That's where I'm at. Welcome, Douglas. Welcome, Heidi.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're going to get started. I know some folks may just be logging into the Zoom and, registering. And so we'll get started right around 10:05. Is that good, Jay and Carmen?
Sounds good.
Okay.
I got my giant cup of coffee, so I'm happy.
Look, I got my giant cup of tea. Hey, Douglas. Hey, look at you.
Douglas, look at that.
Listen, let's all put our teacups up. Tea or coffee.
I was like,
where's that from?
Hold on, let me take
exactly the same.
Y'all ready? 1, 2. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. I love it. Let's all have coffee together. Hello. All right, Douglas, quick question for you. I know we're about to get started, but were you able to figure out any information on that commercial leasing program at Ventures?
No, and I will be 100% honest. I haven't had a chance to get into it because we had Ventures in the last 2 weeks, and so I've been pretty swamped with that. But okay. I'm going to send. While I have that in my head, I'm going to send 2 emails, so I'll step away and I will fire that off real quick.
Okay. Is it Aaron?
Yeah, it should be Aaron. I will CC. Yeah, let me think about that real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, that's fine. I saw you let the guns out too. I was like, okay, Douglas. I was not the only one that saw that. It's like, okay, we're gonna get started. We're gonna get started. Jay, did you want to start us out, or do you want me to go ahead?
Go ahead. I'm here to listen, and well, actually, I do want to say just one thing. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here this morning. We're very, very excited. And thank you for joining us. Over to Jenna Finesse.
All right. Thank you so much, Jay. Listen, the reason why we're having this business finance town hall is because so many organizations, including the Seattle Public Library, has noticed that there are issues around business finance. Like every challenge in our business goes back to business finance. And so that's the reason why we're having this town hall. The town hall is going to be a little different. So normally what we're doing is we're doing master classes, we're doing sessions, we're doing workshops, but this is not a workshop or a master class. I will be giving you all some really, I had to turn off my music, sorry. I will be giving you all some really good insight into business finance, but the purpose of this is to hear from you all and to also help you develop a strategy or at least one goal before you leave here today. So we want you to get fiscally finessed and prepare for business sustainability. That's one of the issues that we're seeing with these small businesses. Myself, Jay, Carmen, Tiara, we have all been working with small businesses all year, and we've been doing it in different arenas, different programs, and we're looking at, man, this all boils down to financial education, financial acumen. And if we can talk about that and get to the root of that, then I think that businesses can grow and thrive and strive maybe for the rest of the year. So let's talk about it. So one of the things that we're seeing is folks can't access capital, they have negative cash flow, low profit margins, multiple businesses. What I've been seeing with folks is, oh, I have this business, and this business. And I'm like, but why? But why? Why do you have so many businesses? If you had one business that was doing an amazing thing, and I have nothing against serial entrepreneurs that's killing it out here in the game. But as a serial entrepreneur myself, I know that if I'm focused on one, I cannot focus on the others. And so if you have all of these multiple businesses, then it's probably a case of jack of all trades, master of none, right? And even with multiple jobs, I know for me as a Black woman, there's been times when I've had multiple jobs and multiple businesses at the same time. And if I boil down to the root cause of that, the reason why I was doing that is because I was not being paid enough at either of those things. And that's why I had to do that in order to get to a place of economic self-sufficiency. And so I'm pretty sure that some of you are in the same situation. Am I right or am I wrong? If I'm right, just put an R in the chat. If I'm wrong, just put a W in the chat. I just want to know, am I right or am I wrong? Okay. So my point is, too many businesses are failing. Before I get into the content, I do want to understand why some of you chose to join us today, right? There's a reason why you chose to join us today, why you feel this content or this time is going to be well spent. So I want to allow you all to raise your hands and I'll unmute. But I just want to know, what do you want to get out of this? What's your purpose of joining this town hall? Zora, I think you already unmuted, so.
Oh, yes. My name is Zora. I'm with Verity Credit Union. So for me, I just want to get an understanding as to what's going on in the community and how I can have these conversations come now and then until the end of next year. I know there's a lot of changes with the market, whether it's the rates, whether it's the products. So I'm just here to hear what you all have to say and how I can apply that to our everyday people.
Thank you, Zora. Thank you for being here with Verity Credit Union. Verity Credit Union is one of the best, okay? I'm gonna just put that out there because you all have been supporting Black-owned business excellence for the last 2 years, and we appreciate you. So thank you for being here. Anybody else that want to share? Go ahead, Ashwant.
Yeah, so my name is Ashwant. I go by Ash. So I worked in corporate industry for about 20 years, and then I was laid off with the 40,000 tech employees that were laid off earlier this year.
Oh.
So I started my own business in February because I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing feeding this system? I could literally just be doing this. And so since I just started my company, I'm here because Miss Jennifer Hess, I've heard you speak before and you know a whole lot about businesses. So I was like, well, as a new business owner, let me go hear some wisdom and see what I can learn from this about finances.
Well, thank you for being here, Ash, and thank you for joining us on this entrepreneurial journey. You're like, okay, y'all want to lay me off? I'm out. So thank you for joining us on this entrepreneurial journey, and thank you for being here today. Anybody else want to share? Yes, go ahead, Douglas.
I'm here. Well, let me introduce myself. Douglas Barclift. I own Big Bus Paddle Sports. It's a paddleboard rental company. I'm here because I'm expanding or working towards expanding. And I want to make sure that as I grow my operation, that I have all the tools to make it successful.
Mhm.
And I don't want my financial illiteracy to be the thing that prevents that.
Thank you for that. We are hopeful that will be addressed today. So thank you for that. All right, one more person, and then we're moving on back into our content. One more person, please share. Welcome, Alana.
Good morning.
Good morning. Alana, I'm just putting you on the spot. Why'd you join us today? What would you like to get
Good
from
morning,
me?
everybody. Hey, good morning. My name is Elena. I am the CEO and founder of Ace Odyssey Counseling Services. And Jennifer Ness, I've been seeing you around just between Debrina's crew and Curtis and just Black Dot. And so I really respect your work and know that you have a lot of expertise to talk to us about small business ownership, particularly in the Black and Brown community. And so I'm here on behalf of myself as the owner, but also know that I'm in partnership and kind of consultation conversations with other folks who are trying to start their businesses, particularly around keeping their books and money management and money mindset, and just wanting to be in the presence of folks who've been trailblazing it just like I have. So thank you for hosting this space.
Thank you. And Elena, thank you for correcting me. I like to say folks' names right because I like when folks say my name right. So thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that. So I'm going to start with these three categories. These are the three categories that I have seen businesses fall into for the last 16 years. And when I say 16 years, I have taught business planning classes. I have been a business coach. I've been a financial coach. And so I have spoke to personally, individually, or in this type of one-to-many forum, thousands of businesses over the last 16 years. And I can say with confidence that they fall into one of these three categories. So they're either failing, where they're struggling to make ends meet, they're struggling to, they're just feeling stretched and stressed out as a business owner. They're feeling like the pressure, right? But they're still trucking along and hustling. They have that hustle mentality. And I feel like if we're hustling, we're probably in this failing category. We might be closer to fair, but I want to get out of that hustle mentality. And I want you all to get out of that hustle mentality. And how we do that is we graduate closer to that finesse category. So I just want to give you all maybe about a couple minutes. Hopefully you all have paper, pen and paper. We were talking about that for some of y'all came on, but hopefully you have something to write with where you can identify at least three things in each of these categories, three ways in which your business can resonate or does resonate with these categories. I'll give you a couple minutes to do that. Be mindful that you will not be sharing this with anybody but your business advisor or your business partner. So don't feel like you need to hold back. Just go crazy with the paper, okay? If any of these things resonate with you, write them down. We will be doing a lot of writing. I'm going to highlight this finesse category. When you have a finessed business, when your business is fiscally finessed, that means that you are able to charge premium pricing. You are not discounting. You're not going back on what you said just because you need to get a sale. I've been there. I'm talking to you all from a place of, I have been there. I've been there where I pretty much would offer a service or offer an experience just because I needed to generate some revenues. I'm in a place now where I can say, no, that does not align with my mission. That doesn't align with the vision that I have for my business. That does not align with my business model. But it took me a while to get here. And so I can charge premium pricing. I have had opportunities even this year where organizations and individuals have wanted to work with me and it didn't align with my business model. And so I said no, because I understand that all money is not good money, right? But when you have a finessed business, you can have premium pricing. You can say no to things. You can feel good about it because you're not struggling to make ends meet, right? You have effective methods for your business, systems, right? Policies and procedures. How many of us know that a policy and a procedure are different, right? The policy is a statement. A procedure is, this is the way that we do this thing. You have those effectively operating in your business. You have a niche or boutique specialization. How many times do I sit down with entrepreneurs and they say, I ask them the question, who's your audience? Who's your target market? And they say, anybody who needs this thing that I'm selling, or everybody in Washington. And I'm like, no. A fiscally finessed business has a niche, a boutique specialization where they have a certain group of folks who are most likely to purchase from them. And those are the people that they market to. Those are the people you see in their marketing, right? Business credit trade lines. This is huge. One of the things that I will say, I recently I'm applying for a grant. And it's a large dollar amount, but it's reimbursable. It's reimbursable. And one of the things that this grant requires is that you hire folks, and you put on all these amazing experiences. But if you don't have business credit and you are just been operating at this level, and now this grant is going to take us to this level. Without business credit, I can't go there because it's reimbursable. Even though it's a large dollar amount, it's a 6-figure grant, but I don't get those 6 figures until I've spent it down. So if I don't have business credit to be able to implement these things, then I won't have a fiscally finessed business. That's important, right? Multiple revenue streams. This is one of the very, 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 very important things that your business needs to employ. If your business is dependent on one revenue stream and something happens, anything could happen. I mean, we saw this in the last few years, right? With COVID, right? But anything could happen. If you are solely dependent on one revenue stream and something impacts that revenue stream, then you no longer have a business. So you need to have multiple revenue streams, and you need to have some passive revenue streams, some things that continue to come in even when you're not working. Even when you go take a trip, or you take a surgery, or you help a loved one, you don't want to be stressing out about, oh my goodness, I need to jump on this Zoom because if I don't, I'm not going to get paid, or I need to continue to do this thing, or I need to be in the store, or I need to fulfill these orders, or I'm not going to be able to generate income, right? A fiscally finessed business has a regular business coaching sessions. Oh my goodness, this is so important. So many people feel like, oh, I got this. Even coaches have coaches. I have 2 coaches, right? You need to be coached in order to see things from a different perspective and also to build out your strategy. So, and then you got to have a succession plan, some type of generational wealth plan or retirement strategy. How many of us started our business knowing what our succession plan was going to be? If you did, just type in the chat S. You had a succession plan. Type in the chat N if you did not. S if you had one, N if you did not. Most of us do not, right? And that could be to our detriment. I was talking to Mr. Lewis Rudd the other day with Ezel's Famous Chicken. He's coming up on his 40th anniversary of Ezel's Famous Chicken, 17 franchises. And he was just telling me a story about when they were in the red at their first store. He said they were in jeopardy. They had a tax bill, IRS tax bill. He doesn't mind me sharing this. But he had an IRS tax bill that was almost a little over $10,000. He had payroll, he had rent. He was trying to pay his distributor of the chicken. He had all these things coming up, and the bank that he was dealing with was delaying his loan. For 8 months, he was going through this process of trying to get access to capital. So he couldn't grow. And he was to the point where he was almost thinking, man, we're going to have to close the doors. And look at him 40 years later. At one point, he had 19 stores, some franchise, some that they own. Now he has 17. That's pretty amazing. So without that succession plan, which he didn't have, he never even thought about, what are we going to do when we get tired, when we're 40 years in, right? When we're thinking about, man, I just want to step away. I want to step away from the business and not do so much day-to-day activities. I want to enjoy life. So they didn't start with that succession plan. And so it's amazing and beautiful that now he has done some of that work over the last few years, so that now at the 40th year mark, he could say what it is he wants to do in business. Okay. So I'm going to give you a little bit more time to write down your financial goal. And I just really want you to do one financial goal, because here we are in November, we're in the fourth quarter. It's almost over. 2023 is almost over, right? The game is almost over. But we're in the fourth quarter, and some of us have reached our goals. I will say that in Fiscal Finesse Consulting, we've reached our goals for 2023. And I'm excited about that, because I can tell you that I did not reach my goals in 2022. And here I am, the fourth quarter, not even halfway over, and I've already reached my financial goals for 2023. So I'm excited about that. Kudos, right? That's a win for me. But I want you all to do the same. So I want you to write one financial goal based on being fiscally finessed, one financial goal that you believe that you can complete in the next 40 days, the next 50 days. It's November 9th. So we have what? 52 days left. Write down one financial goal that you can achieve in the next 52 days. Anybody want to share their financial goal? This is where the magic comes in. If you share it, then you are accountable for it. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Anybody want to share their goal? This is a safe space.
I'll go and share mine.
Thank you, Elena.
Yes, thank you. My biggest financial goal for the rest of 2023 is to complete some documentation and paperwork. I am a therapist by training, and that's my business. And so I need to complete case notes to get paid by Medicaid and insurance and private pay and all the things. So if I complete my case notes, then I will yield approximately $2,000 when I complete them. I just been preoccupied with doing other things and not prioritizing it. But that is exactly the direct line between me getting paid for the services and the skill set and the ministry that I do. So completing my case notes will then yield at least $2,000 by the end of the year.
Thank you for sharing that, Elena. I want you all to write this down. Your fortune is in your follow-up. Your fortune is in your follow-up. Like Elena, sometimes we get boggled down with the work, doing the work, and we sometimes will put the work, like actually doing the work of the work, right, in the background, on the back burner. And oftentimes your fortune is in your follow-up. If you could just complete those mundane tasks, right, Elena? It's like, oh my goodness, I know I need to do this, but this is not really what I want to be doing right now. I want to be giving therapy. I want to be doing my experience, but doing the work, like the work of the work is just like, really, right? But when you do the work of the work, and one of the things that will help you, Elena, and everyone else, and the reason why I am choosing Elena is because she gave us, I just realized that my name is not complete on here, and I'm a stickler, so there we go. One of the things that will help you, Elena, is having a system in place that you don't have to go back and do work. You do it right then and there. And maybe another thing that I want you all to write down is keep up so you don't have to catch up. Keep up so you won't have to catch up. And so if you have a proper system in place, then it's like, oh, and that goes back to being fiscally finessed. Remember, one of the things about being fiscally finessed was having effective methods, systems, policies, procedures. And so in order for you to be fiscally finessed, you just really need to have a system in place that says, oh, when I get done with a client, I'm going to take a voice note. And I have some software for you, Elena, some AI software that I have been using that has really changed the trajectory of my life. I can't find it right now because we're on this call, but please do email me, text me. I don't know if you have my contact, and I will send you some things because you could literally speak it and it types it out beautifully. And if you record your sessions, which you probably don't because confidentiality, so let me take that out of there. But for somebody like me who records my sessions, those notes come right up. I can just literally upload it into this AI software. So AI is changing the game for productivity when it comes to systems and policies and procedures, man, okay? So hopefully that'll help you, Elena. Definitely follow up with me. Anybody else?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anybody else want to share one of your financial goals for the rest of the year? Don't be afraid. This is the time that we get to grow, y'all. We're growing together.
Well, I'll share.
Right. Hi. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. My apologies.
Ladies first.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Rich. Hi, my name is Tiffany. I have my own nonprofit, and for my financial goals, I also am going to update my books and track and allocate my end of year expenses and create a tracking system that I can continue over into 2024.
I love that. Thank you for sharing, Tiffany. Are you using a software already, or is this something that you have to create?
Both. I use the QuickBooks online software, but I also am creating some databases and some spreadsheets on my own because I do have multiple streams of income, like you were saying. But my main business is the Black Women Housing Alliance, and it's a nonprofit organization. But I do have a couple of other business entities intertwined in there where we feed and help the elderly and our children in our community. And I am a life coach, so I just use all of that and cultivate it under my Black Women Housing Alliance.
Okay, I love that. So your goal is to your bookkeeping, basically. That's what you got.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you got to get this bookkeeping done. How many hours do you think that'll take you?
To get the bookkeeping done? Well, I put it on my calendar weekly to spend 2 hours a day. So I don't know, do the math of that. It's probably going to take me at least a couple weeks, I would say, just so I can get everything the way that I want it to be. But I know it's achievable as long as I dedicate those 2 hours every week.
Got it. So one of the things that I want to encourage you, Tiffany, one of the areas of being fiscally finessed is outsourcing. Outsourcing some of those tasks. And if that's going to take you 2 weeks, it could possibly take a bookkeeper 3 hours.
Exactly.
2 weeks of your time is way more expensive than 3 hours of hiring a bookkeeper. So it may be somewhere that you say, I want to outsource this. I want to outsource this task, and I actually can afford to pay up to 6 hours to get it done.
That is one of my goals, to be able to outsource it. But like, as you say, you're a small business and you're just getting going. So you have that money stream, that capital, like, where do I want to invest that into donating free hours to serve my youth and give like coaching and mentorship for my kiddos out in the community? Or do I want to feed, a senior citizen? Or do I want to get a bookkeeper? But when you said that your fortune is your follow-up, it just, I don't know. It's got me thinking a whole bunch of stuff simultaneously. So
well, thank you for sharing, Tiffany. We appreciate you. I do want to say this. When you're doing it, your time is worth money too. And so when you start to evaluate, listen, 2 weeks of my time versus 6 hours of a bookkeeper, let's go bookkeeper. Because your value, we got to start putting value into our own time. And that's one thing that we don't do as entrepreneurs. Sometimes we don't even pay ourselves, but we have to value our time. Your time is worth you hiring that bookkeeper. And I will say that 60 times if you need me to. Okay. But your time, whatever it is, your opportunity cost, the other things that you could be doing with your time is worth you hiring that bookkeeper.
I feel you. I'm going to put that on my to-do list right now, is to outsource my bookkeeping. Because there are also some free services, and I could probably talk to my fiscal sponsor, and there's a whole bunch of things I could do.
My goodness. I just learned that there are actually free services. So the MBDA will pay for a bookkeeper for you. There are all kinds of others.
Well, Tell me.
MBDA, Minority Business Development Agency or something like that. They will pay for it. There are all kinds. If you're a member of
I just put them up last night. They're on my tab right now.
It's called Confirmation, baby. Okay. Also, if you're a member of like Tabor 100, they have free consulting, and some of those folks are bookkeepers. There's all kinds of resources out there. Thank you, Carmen, for putting that in the chat. Okay. All right. So Bash, I'll go to Bash.
Hi, Jennifer Ness. I just love following you. Wherever you at and you say come, I'm coming.
Thank you.
So that FFF thing you had up there, failing, fair, finesse, I'm all stuck in that failing thing. But I see a road, a pathway, with these other fair and finesse too. So I want to thank you for that. And before we met this morning, I was looking at some old notes, and you must have quoted that because this is some old raggedy notes. Your fortune is in your follow.
I say that all the time.
Oh yeah, that was you, because I had it copied just from a long time ago. So I just wanted to say that too. My financial goal, when we first initially brought it up, when you first initially talked brought it up. I was still looking at this graph and saying, yeah, I'm in this failing thing and woo, 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 and thinking, well, my financial goal is I need to get this house paid for because it's just sucking money out of my bank. But reconsidering and paying attention here more, and then hearing you talk about a grant, I applied for a grant too and thought I did damn well. But then when I got into the government end of trying to get paid and stuff, there was a lot that I didn't know how to do. And I just got frustrated and said, forget it. Mm-hmm. No, it was too much money to be, and excuse my language, as broke as I am, too much money just let go after I put in the work.
Don't let it go.
So that is my my goal for 50 days. I'm getting right back on it and I'll make it happen. It just got so damn frustrating because I'm new to that bureaucracy stuff, but I'm gonna thank you. That is my goal. And if I don't leave with anything else from this morning, it's that. And that's why I wanted to vocalize it, to hold myself accountable.
Thank you, Bash.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Bash, I do want to say I'm like you in that I'm very new to this bureaucracy of grants, especially six-figure grants. I've gotten a few grants, but six-figure grants, it kind of intimidates me. And so I'm just being honest, but what I have done is sought out assistance. And like I was telling Tiffany, there are organizations that will help you for free. Like they have money to help you with technical assistance. And one of those is Apex. You have the Small Business Development Center. You have a lot of the women's business centers, SCORE, but also MBDA, like I said, and Tabor 100. Tabor 100 actually has counselors, consultants that they're paying to provide services to all of us at no cost. And there's other ones out there. And hopefully Jay or Carmen, I don't know if y'all already have a list, but we can definitely send out some literature after this. Douglas, go right ahead. Actually, I saw Tiara's hand right before yours. So Tiara, did you have something?
Nope, you covered it. I was just going to share the free resources and the importance of outsourcing, but looking at those free resources, we're so fortunate to have a lot of those in our community. So I put it down because you said it right after.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, go ahead, Douglas.
Can you maybe Tiara might also have the information on this, but like talk about the resources for accounting at Tabor 100. I've been to Tabor 100. I didn't know they had resources like that.
Are you reading their newsletters?
I do not get their newsletter. I don't think I'm on their mailing list.
Y'all better get on that mailing list. Listen, they have some amazing, not just Tabor, but there are tons of resources in our community. All of these money that has come from like the COVID-19, looking at racism as a public health issue. All of these organizations have technical assistance built in. It is no cost to you. They're getting paid. And some of them are not being able to use all of their hours because we are not following up. So get on all of these distribution lists, these email lists, these newsletters, get on them because then when you receive them, and even Bobby's newsletter, we send out a newsletter once a month and we're putting some of this data in there. And a lot of these resources and events are in that newsletter, right? But there's tons of resources out here that we don't have to pay for because the government and these nonprofit organizations have already received grants in order to assist us, right? So definitely make sure that you are getting the information and the resources you need. The lack of resources is no longer an issue in our community. And the reason why I say that is because I see them. I see all of these organizations not able to even spend down this money because folks are not responding. For example, I was a part of the Keep It Local Tacoma grant, and I was one of the service providers. And they had technical assistance around finances, building your business credit, looking at your personal credit even, looking at your revenue streams, operations, marketing, accounting, bookkeeping, all of that. And it was very few people that followed up. There were a lot of people that signed up, but it was very few people who followed up. So we need to take advantage of these resources. It's not a trick. It's not a game. It's out there, okay? So The next question I have is, what is your barrier to being fiscally finessed? I told you all we have 52 days left in this year. We all wrote down a goal. Now I want you to write down your barrier for that goal. What is the barrier to you being fiscally finessed? We kind of talked through it with a few people on the line, but let's talk about that. Let's identify some of those barriers. I'm gonna give you a few minutes to write. How many of you wrote down for your goal is that you want to build out a reserve in your business? A reserve so that you're able to pay yourself, pay off some of that debt. I don't know the number because it changes all the time, but credit card debt is at an all-time high. Folks are living on those credit cards, which is the absolute worst thing you can do for your credit, right? When it comes to your credit and your capacity, you should have less than 25% on a credit card and the totality of all the credit cards and the balances you have. So if you are living on your credit card and maxing it out and going above 25%, then you're killing yourself as far as your credit score is concerned, but also your capacity to do anything, to have any reserves. And so making enough money and having reserves will help you to have more or make more strategic decisions in your business, right? Anybody have building credit as their goal? Just put a C in the chat if you have building credit as your goal. Thank you. So for the two folks in the corner, no, I'm just kidding. For the folks who have building credit as their goal for the year, we would love to help you. One of the things that the Seattle Public Library is doing is offering free credit solutions. You can either sit with myself or Tiara. See, this is another benefit, right? Another benefit that a lot of folks don't even know that is out there. You can sit with myself at Fiscal Finesse Consulting or Tiara with Take Charge Consulting and actually look at and create a plan for your business and or personal finances. This is a benefit. I'm going to show you where to sign up, Gian. Like, wait, hold up. And Gian works for the library. He like, wait, hold up, where I sign up? I love it. I'm going to give you that information in a minute. All right. But this is awesome. If you are looking to build your personal or business credit in the next 52 days, we can help you do that. Okay. And here's the thing I want to leave with you all. Sometimes we feel like it's detrimental and it's going to take a very long time, a whole lot of resources, but really the key to building your business credit or your personal credit is education. You have to be educated. And it does not take a long time. You just have to focus on it and get educated about it, and it will begin to grow, okay? And I'll give you some details on that in a moment. Did anybody have increasing their cash flow as one of your goals for the next 52 days? Just type a CF in the chat if you're interested in increasing your cash flow. Okay, thank you. All right. So listen, the key to cash flow is timing. It's simply timing. It's about generating money, making it come in as quickly as possible, and allowing it to go out as slowly as possible. Can anybody do that with me? We talked about earlier how when you're writing things down, it just embeds in your memory. It's a different part of your brain that is working when you're writing. But do this with me so you can remember this about cash flow. Bring money in as quickly as possible, and then allowing it to go out as slowly as possible. So many people feel like, oh, my cash flow is low because I don't make enough money. It has nothing to do with how much you bring in. It has everything to do with how quickly you allow it or slowly you allow it to go out. So with positive cash flow, you want to bring the money in as quickly as possible. Y'all doing it with me? As quickly as possible. And then allowing it to go out as slowly as possible. That's how you have positive cash flow. So when money is flowing positively, your business is growing positively. Just because a business makes $2 million in revenue and you're only at $200,000 in revenue does not mean that their cash flow is going to be more positive than yours. That is a myth, and it is a myth that you need to really take out of your mind. It's not about how much you have coming in. It's about how slowly you have it going out, okay? So that's cash flow. Hey, thank you, Elena. All right. So Elena alluded to this earlier, where she said, you know, I never thought about the benefits of having multiple revenue streams. Well, here's some benefits. Having multiple revenue streams can help you increase your business's overall revenue by creating multiple opportunities for income generation. If something were to happen to one revenue stream, you have others that you can rely on, especially if they're passive, right? It gives you flexibility, and it also helps you to predict a stable income in the future. But if you just have one revenue stream, and maybe it's your capacity as an individual, and you're given an experience like myself, like Elena, where a lot of our experiences depend on us as an individual, and we only have so much capacity. I go to sleep, and I promise you, I get 8 hours a day, and I don't worry about anything. So if it's a capacity issue, then I absolutely need to be able to have other revenue streams, right? It also helps you to manage your risk. Multiple revenue streams can give you that cushion for your business against failure and different things that happen, like COVID and, you know, external things, whether it's internal or external. Then you can also innovate. You can start to develop other experiences because you have multiple revenue streams that give you that reserve, that cushion. Okay. The other thing that I want to go over is, oh, I like that. Douglas said, this is his favorite quote. You have the same amount of hours in a day as Beyonce. Man, you better say that. I love that. All right. The other thing that I want to cover, and this is something that I deal with a lot of clients, is pricing. There are so many benefits to the proper pricing. So many of us are underpricing ourselves, devaluing ourselves, or sometimes even overpricing ourselves and missing out on opportunities. So it's important to have the proper price, right? This way you can increase your sales and your profitability, but you can also have brand awareness. You can brand yourself. Remember, going back to being fiscally finesse is to have premium pricing. You can brand yourself as the expert, as the professional, as all these things because your pricing says such, okay? So, and it also gives you a competitive advantage. If everybody's experience is $9.99 and maybe yours is $24.99, there's a reason why it's $24.99 because there's a perceived value. Think about it. When it comes to vehicles, for example, You don't see very many Jaguar or even Tesla or Rolls Royce or Maserati commercials, but you do see a lot of Toyota and Honda and Hyundai. Why is that? Similar cars, oftentimes, right? But one is considered luxury, premium, right? They don't have to advertise because the target market, the customer who is in the market for their products, are not looking for them on a commercial. They're going to go online. They're going to, do all the things they need to do to get that particular product. And that's where you want to be as a finessed business. You don't want to be out here saying, oh, I have a sale, I have a sale. Doing all this crazy crap on social media. Hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. Stop, okay? Because this is a turnoff. I have literally muted folks for 30 days or 60 days because I'm like, I'm so sick and tired of seeing this. But when you have premium pricing, you don't have to do all that. All right? So, a couple things I want to give you all. I have a Finesse My Business Finance Masterclass that is coming up next week, actually, 1 week from today. If you have not done so, please register for this class. That is the link there. This is going to cover business credit. It's going to cover cash flow, and it's going to cover revenue streams. It's a masterclass. So please register for that. Next month, I'm doing Finesse My Business Pricing. We're going to go over some pricing models. We're going to go over negotiation skills. We're going to go over the right fit, the right customer, and the right price for your experience and why you should price it the way that you do. Okay, so that's another one. The other thing is the 5th annual Black-Owned Business Excellence Symposium. Oh my goodness. If you have not been to a Black-Owned Business Excellence Symposium, even if you have been to a Black-Owned Business Excellence Symposium, you need to be at this one. So save the date, put it on your calendar, join us. We're going to have virtual hybrid, in-person and virtual, but it's going to be February 1st, 2024. I definitely wanted to give you those. And then lastly, this is the link for you to get fiscally finessed and build up your personal and or business credit through the Seattle Public Library. This is the link for that. And that's not lastly, sorry.
Hey,
Lastly,
Finesse, real quick, I have a question.
yes.
I'm old school.
Oh my
country
goodness, Tracy's here. Hi, Tracy.
I've been taking notes on your drop as you drop the bombs. I'm loving you always. I'm old school and country. So when I'm on my phone and I'm looking at a QR code, I'm like, how am I actually supposed to scan the QR code with the QR code when it's on my phone? Help me out. Can you put a link in the chat? Or did you do that?
I can definitely put a link in the chat. I will put the links in the chat. I do want to say, Dr. Tracy, thank you. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you. I do want to say that I appreciate you speaking up for that because I'm sure that you're not the only one with that issue. All right. You're welcome. All right. We have a few minutes. We have a few minutes, and I want to leave this time, open up this time to have a dialogue or about some of the things that are coming up and also some of the things that you've learned here today. Any questions from you all as I'm dropping these links in the chat, dropping gems in the chat?
No, thank you. I should say my personal goal was to hire an accountant, but it sounds like I might not have. The thing that was the barrier was the cost of the accountant. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, well, maybe I can go to Tabor 100 and I can get these books brought back up to speed, so yeah, this has been the most important 50 minutes of the year right now. So thank you.
I love that for you. I love that for you. Thank you for sharing. And it's not just Tabor either. It's Tabor, and it's also the city of Seattle, Office of Economic Development. If you're in Seattle, the city of Tacoma, Office of Economic Development, They all have these resources that sometimes we're not aware of. So definitely make sure that you are taking advantage of those resources that are out there, and also just ask. Oh my goodness, there's so much power in asking. Like, wait a minute, how do I get these resources? What resources are available? Because sometimes they don't know. They don't know that, you know, they're putting these things out there, and they're sometimes assuming that the need is not there because folks are not taking advantage of the things that they're putting out there. And that's the reason why it's so important for us to ask these questions, right? Who better to ask? You have the Seattle Public Library, you have Jay, you have Carmen, you have these amazing folks that are out here in these streets, paving, what the kids say, I'm outside. They outside. They outside paving the streets, looking for resources for us, making sure that we have everything that we need out here in these streets. Okay. They outside, they looking, and they have a ton of resources themselves. You know, even when you think about the Seattle Public Library, the resources that they have, oh my goodness, for free, right? For free. So we want to take advantage of these things. So number one, they'll keep coming into our communities. And number two, they know that the need is still there, that the gap is still there. But if we're not taking advantage of it, it may go away. All right. But I do want to give you all 1 minute to write a review for Fiscal Finesse Consulting. Just write a review because the social capital is important. And folks need to know how amazing Fiscal Finesse is. So take a moment to do that. And I have a giveaway that I'm going to give away in the next 1 minute based on the reviews. And I know some of you have already wrote a review before, so you may not be able to write another one. But I'm going to choose a review for a giveaway that I have in the next minute. So I'll be quiet. If anybody has a comment or question, this is the time to ask. Thank you, Douglas.
Where do you want the review?
That link I just posted, and I'll post it again.
Okay.
Thank you, Bash. Any questions or comments on this town hall? Should the Seattle Public Library do this once a month? That's the question. Thank you, Takia. Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you, Elena. I got this new tea, it's so good. It's not the tea, actually, it's the sweetener. Got it from a Korean store. I'm gonna go get it real quick. No, I don't have time for that. It's 11 o'clock, but it's just believe me, y'all, it's good. All right.
What are the properties in it, Jennifer?
Huh? Okay, I'm gonna go get it then. Hold on.
Okay.
That's all you have to do is tell me you wanted it. So it's some ginger citron. So it's ginger. Check this out. So basically, and I got this from Linda Womack. But basically, it's ginger and it's a sweetener. It's all natural sweetener. She says she gets it from the Korean store. But I'm like, oh my God, this stuff is so good. I just put it in my teapot, like 2 spoonfuls in the teapot with some cloves. Amazing.
Oh, it sounds amazing.
I'm trying to get away from the sugar.
Yes, definitely.
So sharing good stuff. All right. Oh, see, Ash knows all about it. It's so good in the vitamin C, but ginger good for the immune system. See, I'm gonna be drinking this all winter. Y'all ain't gonna see me out here sick and coughing. So anyways, thank you all for your time. Thank you for spending this moment with us. Thank you for giving us good information about what's going on right now for small businesses and how we can support. And definitely fill out the survey that you'll be getting in your emails from the Seattle Public Library to see what else can be done to support you as a small business owner.
Hey, Jennifer Ness, would you be able to email out to us all the wonderful, awesome, amazing links that you have in the chat?
It will go out from the Seattle Public Library as a follow-up to the presentation. So I'll make sure that Carmen has all of it. Carmen is she's the guru.
Yes, we'll have that out. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you all. I know y'all don't want to leave, but we gotta go. Okay, we gotta go.
This is great. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Jennifer Ness.
You're welcome.
Not only do you show up with this brilliant content, but that black and white, I see you. We see what you, how you, yeah. Yes, we see all of that. We see you.
I actually have a grant interview after this. They're going to give Bobby a grant. And so I was like, I'm about to represent, I'm showing up in my Bobby gear. But I was like, yeah, so I have a grant interview after this. So I was like, okay, what do I want to wear to show up? You know.
I love it. Love it. Peace out.
All right. Y'all have a good day. Oh, Ash, did you have something? Oh, she had her hand up and then she left.